Are you ready for the best damn sports radio show on the planet? Man Hour Nation, rise up.
I would like to personally welcome you to Man Hour After Dark. Say that then. While I bring you the host, Mike, Buck, and Cone. You know who's coming to the stage. Sports talk than what you about to hear right here. I second that.
Go. You know that it's us when we talking about sports. Giving you facts on the field to the core. Tune in, we need the support. 1 hour too short, still listen some more. On all your stations, not dropping no music. Stripes like Adidas, but Nike just do it. Down 4 in the 4th, we go for the win. Michael 2 seconds, we taking it in. Buck, Mike, and Combs, you know what's going on. Man, now we're After Dark, no LA, we the big spark. No 4th and inches won't cut you short. Got the best talking, it's all sports. Buzzing more than buzz beaters. We coming live all through your speakers, go.
And what is up, guys? Michael Buckheiser here with the Man Hour. Head over to manhourradio.com. Check out the blog section and the merchandise section as well, as we update t-shirts and hoodies there about once a month. And right now we have some baseball hoodies and t-shirts out there. It is nice, slick, nice, clean, designed by my man Brandon Combs here. So let's go ahead and welcome BC Combs to the show. What's going on, Brandon?
What is going on? Michael Buckheiser, what is going on, Man Hour Nation? What is going on, Big X listeners? Let's do this, man. I am pumped. We had the Cubs and the Dodgers in spring training night baseball on Thursday night. Can't get any better than that. And at the same time, the Blackhawks playing the Tampa Bay Lightning. Like,
so what glory, game are you more in tuned in? Were you more in tuned to the Cubs game or the Blackhawks game?
Look, I love hockey, and I know it's only spring training baseball, but I'm a baseball guy, so the baseball was on the TV, and in between innings, I flip over and check out the hockey game.
You know, or you could be like our man Brian Pirtle and have like 7 TVs like on a wall. You need to step up your game.
That is my goal. That is my goal. A TV with different boxes hooked up to each TV, so I can have different channels on. Yeah. Trust me, man. That is my goal. Don't tell Michelle that, but when we buy a house, that's happening in our basement. So
that is happening in our basement. Speaking of in the basement, Wyatt Williams did fall asleep on the couch on the basement this afternoon, and he woke up a little late again. So Wyatt, I'm glad you're on time here. So welcome, man.
I appreciate it. What's going on, guys?
It's another day in paradise, brother.
You gotta get that maid service and an alarm clock, man.
Yeah. So funny that you say that. So like I started a new job here, like a full-time job, right? And like I am working with people that have been at the same company since like 1960s, right? Like they've been there for 40, 50 years, right? And I was talking to this old guy, he is a typical old Midwestern guy, right? He he wears the overalls and the cowboy boots, and just a nice, deep-spoken fella, right? He says he has never owned an alarm clock in his whole life. He wakes up every day at 4:30 in the morning. Never had an alarm clock or like anything. So,
do you think that he walked uphill both ways to school when he was young too, barefoot in the snow?
He actually said he didn't go to school. He was homeschooled. So.
Oh.
So, I mean, he was honest about that, right? So, but sometimes, like your body, like once that 4:30 like alarm, it goes off, and I happen to push like snooze about 4:45, 5 o'clock. Like I'm kind of in like a panic mode because like my body is used to waking up at that time now. So, I could see it.
I'm not. I'm not one of those guys that can just wake up without an alarm clock. Like, if I'm sleeping, especially if it's dark in the room, man, I can sleep, and I can sleep a lot. You could ask Michelle. Like, I am one of those guys. Like, unless you come in and wake me up, like I'm out. But once I'm up, man, I'm up. Like, it doesn't take me any time to wake up. Like, I'm not a hard person to deal with in the morning. I'm an okay morning person.
Yeah.
But when I'm out, man, in boot camp. In the Marine Corps boot camp, back in 1999, there was an earthquake that was felt through 4 states. I slept through it. I didn't know anything about it until they were talking about it the next morning.
Age yourself there. Boot camp, 18 years old, 1999. If
I'm going to be 40 next month, Buck. We talk about this all the time.
Combs turns 40 in like 23 days now, right? 24 days, 23 days, right?
25 days.
25. No, it was just 27 on Monday.
I know my birthday, Buck. I turned
No, you don't. It's 23 days away.
I turned 40 on the 29th. That would be 25 minus 4 plus 4 is 29.
There you go. So, Wyatt, you are not a morning person at all, are you?
No,
No.
not even in the slightest way.
Wyatt
even when the maids have to wake you up?
Like the sun has to
Yes.
crest the noon hour, and then like shine in windows, and shine on Wyatt's eyes for a good solid 2 hours before he is up.
No, either my dad, Nikki, or whoever it is waking me up, mom, my brother, no matter who it is, they have to basically, take a grenade, pull the pin, and throw it underneath my bed, and then, do that like probably 5 times, and then I'll probably wake up.
Like seriously, like how can you sleep like that, man? Like, are you up all night?
No, I just love sleep. I get to a deep sleep.
I'm kind of the same way. I can't sleep. It's usually like 10 or 10:30 would be like my cutoff. Is usually when my body wakes itself up. But as Drew comes through here on the chat line, says he's cleaning up and he's listening to the best damn sports show.
Yes, sir.
I love
Thanks
it,
for tuning
Drew.
in,
I
Drew.
love it. Thank you
sir.
for working your day around us. I appreciate it. Michelle says, "What's up?"
What is up, Michelle? We got some big surprises coming for you. And like Indy, your daughter is going to love us. I am telling you, your daughter's going to love us. There, playing some volleyball in Indy in a few weeks. I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah, look, guys. I mean, we need to bring like pom poms. We need to I'm telling you, we've got to do something big, and we've got to get her. But we can't tell her about it until she's playing. So we gotta remember to only talk about this backstage from now on. Okay.
Okay, I got you. So,
all right.
Some person we might show up to your said volleyball games wearing nothing but shorts. No,
remember,
painted,
Buck, these are all
painted,
13-year-old and 14-year-old girls. So we got to come wearing a little bit more than just shorts. Because we start getting in trouble. There's rules to this stuff, buddy.
I'll most likely be fine. It'll just be like frowned upon for me, but you guys will be going to jail if you do that. Like it will be bad.
What the difference
Drew says
between
Wyatt's
wearing a
got the
bathing
hair
suit?
for pom poms.
Yeah, he does. That is very, very true. So, what are you guys having for supper? Like anything good?
So we're gonna have a pot roast. Actually, no, it's Friday. So Friday is pizza night. We do pizza night. Beggar's Pizza, man. Beggar's Pizza out of Chicago is the best pizza. They load. I'm telling. When I say they load the topping, I'm not joking. Like, I can't get through one bite without something being there other than just the cheese, the sauce, and the crust. And it is amazing stuff.
Wyatt, what does Friday night look like in your household on supper? Wait, is it supper or is it dinner here?
It's dinner.
I'm a transplant.
Dinner.
Yeah.
Dinner. It's
So
supper
Friday
for me,
night's a little weird. Like Friday night we don't eat dinner together because I'm always calling games. Like tomorrow night I got 2 games up in Seymour. So tomorrow night I'll have McDonald's most likely at 11 o'clock at night will be my dinner. So we love the grind. We love calling the games. Hey, but the biggest thing I wanted to mention, I forgot to earlier, Man Hour shirt came in.
Oh,
check that out.
Man.
That's right. So
good.
Wyatt sent us a picture once he got his Man Hour shirt.
Oh, yeah.
A text message, and I swear to you guys, it looked like it was going to be the cover of the sequel to Mama's Boy. Like when I'm not even joking. Like this looked
Grandma's
like it was
Boy, right?
it was seriously Grandma's Boy. Sorry, it looks like it's going to be the sequel to Grandma's Boy. Like he's just sitting there, thumbs are up, and oh man, it was quite the scene. But look, hey Wyatt, we love messing with you. You're lucky I haven't taken that picture and put it up on an overlay yet, because I plan on it.
It's a good picture. I'm fine with that one. The Sheets nip slip pic. Not my best.
Okay.
Yeah,
So first of all,
you
Wyatt,
can't send me pictures if
Yeah,
you don't want
come
them on
on, man.
overlays, Buck or Wyatt.
I still don't know.
I don't care.
3 things still come to mind, Wyatt. For one, why did you have a sheet around you like a dress or whatever it was? I don't know what you were trying to do there. A bikini top. 2, why did you take a picture of it? 3, why did you send it to us? It was just.
If there are 2 less mature adults you will ever meet in your life, it's me and Buck.
Yeah.
So, And to answer Drew's
Past
question
4
here,
o'clock.
he wants to know if it's Chicago style. Of course it's there's no other style pizza.
Yes,
So of
there
course
is.
it's Chicago style. No, there's not.
Chicago doesn't make top 5.
There's Chicago style pizza and then there's fake pizza. You know what, Buck? You're just trying to get me riled up because just the other day you were telling Zen that Chicago style pizza was the best pizza and he needed to come home so you could show him Chicago style pizza.
Do you know
I
who
did
really
not.
hates? Do you know who really hates
did
Chicago
too.
style pizza? You know who really hates Chicago style pizza?
Chicago
Who?
people.
The greatest pitcher of all time, Trevor Bauer. He hates Chicago style pizza.
You know what else Trevor Bauer hates? ERAs under 4.
You know what
Cy
else
Young.
he hates? He hates
Not
the
winning
New
the
York Mets
Cy Young.
pitching staff. They're still having a Twitter battle there, Combs.
Oh my dude, every
Twitter
day.
battle.
It is amazing. Every day the Twitter war between the Mets pitching staff and Trevor Bauer is unbelievable.
If
will
you guys
never
want
end.
some, like, if you guys are on Twitter, you need to go follow Trevor Bauer right now and just put the notifications on because it is like ding 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 ding. It is actually really really amusing at the end of the day. But here on Friday night for supper for us, we have pizza as well, Combs. But we have a place called Topped. Here in it's the oven or it's the brick.
You
it's
go
the
to
brick-
Topped?
Brick oven?
Yeah, every
No,
Friday night.
go to Rapid Fire.
No, sir. Every Friday night, you will see the
God, here we go.
Buckheisers there, and oof, man, it is.
Poor decisions.
Now do
Poor
you
decisions.
sit there and eat or do you pick it up and bring it home?
We sit there because my son is an animal, and I don't have to click and like I don't have to clean up the mess afterwards. So
That is
it's
perfect. So
it is a win-win
we
situation.
like delivery. We're a family that eats on the dinner trays and watches TV while we eat dinner. I mean, we all sit down there and eat together, but it's dinner trays on the couch and
Right.
watching TV. So we like to order in, and then we'll watch our favorite shows. We usually record the Chicago shows on Wednesday nights. If you guys haven't seen them, like Chicago PD, Chicago Fire, Chicago Med.
all
we'll
overrated.
sit down,
Just like
we'll-
Chicago.
Yeah, we'll watch all 3 of them. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, like honestly, I do like Chicago PD. That's actually a really good show.
Oh, it's
But
the best.
speaking of the best show, we do have a pretty exciting show taken up over here over the next hour and 45 minutes for you guys. We have the top 10 third basemen in the Major League Baseball coming into 2021 season, brought to you by Brandon Combs. He will be giving us his top 10 third basemen in the Major League this season. We are going to do the I shouldn't say world famous, it's fan famous episode of Liar Liar, and ain't nobody got time for that. So those are the 2 segments that we got coming up here on the bottom of the hour and top of the hour. And then, of course, we're going to sprinkle in a little bit of NFL football, guys. So if you guys want to talk about anything, we do open up the chat at the end of the show, the last 15, 20 minutes of the show. So if you guys want to talk about something, let us know in the comment section, youtube.com/manhour, and we will get to those comments and talk about them. Right, guys?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be a good show, guys. I can feel it. I can feel it in my bones. We'll be right back here on the Man Hour. Welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckeyes along with Brandon Combs and Wyatt Williams. Head over to manhourradio.com. Check out the merchandise page, or you can become a member over there as well. It's those $3 a month. We give you some behind-the-scenes footage. We give you discount codes on merchandise. And spoiler alert, after 6 months of being a member, we do send you a free hoodie as well. So let's go ahead and welcome the boys back onto the show. I should say men. We are men here on the Man Hour, right?
Well, 2.5 men.
Yeah, 2.5 men and a Wyatt, right? But no, I'm totally kidding. Do you guys remember that show? Wyatt, this is way before you were born. But Combs, it was like back in like 96 or 97. It was a show on ABC called Two Guys and a Girl and a Pizza Place. The world's longest title for it, the worst TV show of all time.
Correct.
Yeah,
I've never even heard of that.
Before we get into baseball and all that stuff, I've got two things I want to address here. First thing being, did you do the math on the Streamlabs? Like, did you put in like your code for your math or something? Because we look here, and I'll bring it up. It says Brandon Combs has 1,160 points, right?
Right.
So then I gambled 700, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then it says Brandon Combs has won 1,400 loyalty points and now has 1,860 points. How does 1160 plus 1,400 equal 1,860?
You just add 700 to it.
But I won 1,400.
No, I don't know. It's not me. It's them. Come on,
word.
man.
All right.
If you guys are curious of what Brandon is talking about here on the youtube.com/Man Hour channel, we have loyalty points. At the end of each week, well, some weeks, we give you guys a discount code for some merchandise. We give you free merchandise. 2 weeks ago, Combs, you gave away a poster, right? A autograph,
signed picture.
Yeah. So a signed picture. So really, all you gotta do to get those loyalty points is be active in the chat.
To send out.
Yeah. So you gotta be active in the chat. You gotta like the page. You gotta share it, and you get loyalty points, and you can gamble those loyalty points. Earlier this week, I had around like 10,000, and I gambled 10,000, and I lost it all. I was like, she gone, just like that. So I'm slowly building myself back up here. But so if you guys are curious of what he's talking about here on YouTube, you can put exclamation point gamble space and then the points, and then you can gamble those points away. Football Mom Murray is active on that gambling. Like, she has an addiction. Like that thing. Like I think we need to get her some.
So is Tori, but Tori's lost a little bit. Penelope Smith is up there right now too. Nana's gambling. She's at the Riverboat Casino or something.
Yeah.
She's all over it. But yeah. So the second thing I wanted to get to.
I might program some flashy lights in there. So like tomorrow, like after work, because I'm a software engineer and do all this stuff, right? Maybe I'll do some ting 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 and then make it flash when you win.
Right. All right. So the second thing I want to get to before we get to baseball here is Hoffy says on the break, Combs better not have himself in his top 10. LeBron better be number 1. And now this isn't going to make much sense for anybody else, but Hoffy and I used to play a lot of softball together, and there was this guy we used to play with, and I'm telling you right now, when it comes to softball, he is probably the best third baseman I've ever seen in my life playing ball. His name is Rob LeBrun, friend of ours. He watches the show, doesn't comment too much, but he watches the show all the time because he talks to me about it off air. And so if I did do a softball top 10 list, Hoffy would not be on it, but Rob LeBrun would definitely be on it.
I would be on it. I'm great.
Yeah, I'd probably put Wyatt on there too, but not Hoffy. So
yeah.
All right, so we ready
Wyatt
to get to
is a
some
Division
baseball?
I athlete. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into the top 10 third basemen entering to the 21 season. Combs, who do you have at number 10?
All right, guys. So at number 10, I have Yoan Moncada, White Sox third baseman. I went back and forth with this, and ultimately I decided not to put Chris Bryant in my top 10. Just because of his struggles staying healthy over the last couple of seasons, plus his down numbers as well over the last couple of seasons to add to the injury. So I went with Yoan Moncada at number 10. Look, this guy is above average defensively. I know he had a down year last year with the bat, only hit 225 in the 60-game season. But he's a career 260 hitter. The kid gets better and better every single year. So for me, I have Yoan Moncada at number 10.
I think that's a little bit of a reach, Comb. Me doing some research before show here. I had him at number 12, Chris Bryant at number 11. So I actually had both of those guys out of your top 10. And you said he is a career 260 hitter, getting better and better and better. But last year he batted 235. So I mean, you kind of.
Who did you have in your top? Let me
Max
put it like
Muncy,
this.
I had him at number 10.
Okay, so Muncy's kind of so he plays second base, he plays first base, he plays third base. Justin Turner plays more third base than Muncy does though over for the Dodgers. So
Right.
But Yohan Moncada, here's how when I'm looking at top players, I take defense. I highly rate defense as well as offense. But that being said, I kind of threw 2020 out the window.
Okay.
Because there were a lot of really good players that struggled in 2020. Because if that's the case, then right now we don't even have certain guys who belong in the top 10 at certain positions wouldn't even be in there if you count their 2020 season. Right. So I threw 2020 out the window. Okay. And that's why I have Moncada at 10.
Then if we are doing that, I do agree with you. He should probably slide in at that 10-9 range then.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely.
All right, who do you have at number 9?
At number 9, this is a team that a lot of people sleep on, but I've got the Oakland A's, Matt Chapman, at number 9. 1.2 WAR last year, career 21 is his WAR. This guy is just a hitter. He hits for a lot of power. But more than that, he is a Gold Glove winning third baseman. He has 2 Gold Gloves, 2 Platinum Gloves, which is insane. And he's just a beast at third base, and he can hit the cover off the ball. Matt Chapman is still young in this game, but there are a lot of third basemen that are up and coming. He may fall off the list next year, but heading into 2021, he's at number 9 for me.
Yeah, and I actually had him out of the top 10 as well. I did have Chris Bryant coming in at number 9 because I think, Chris Bryant's defense ability a little bit more than his, as in Matt Chapman. Yeah,
so to me, Bryant is better suited to be a left fielder than a third baseman. He struggles at times defensively, but I think a lot of it has to do with him trying to, cushion himself for all the injuries that he's dealing with. He plays hurt a lot, and a lot of times he plays through stuff, and then he ends up going on the injured list. Where if he would just take a day or two off and get healthy, then he'd be better off. But he plays through a lot of stuff. Doesn't always tell people when he's hurt, so that's why. For me, Chris Bryant is out of the top 10. The injury struggles and the struggles at the plate over the last couple of years is where we're at. So, coming in at number 8, I have the Yankees' young up-and-comer, Gio Urshela. This kid is insane at third base. He had a 2.1 WAR last year, and he has a 4.8 WAR in his young career. He's only played 4 years in the league, 2 of those with Cleveland, 2 with the Yankees. He did have half a season with Toronto, but he only played 19 games with them. So kind of throw that season out the window. He did play 43 of the Yankees' 60 games last year, had 151 at-bats, had 45 hits, and 6 home runs, 30 RBIs. And this kid is really, really good. He's young still. He's still raw. And I think he's only going to go higher up that list.
Yeah, that's exactly where I had him, as well. Everything that you said, I concur with that 100%. So we finally got one correct, right? Moving on to number 7.
Always coming at me with one. All right, tearing apart my list. And you've already had Chris Bryant at number 11 and at number 9. So, all right.
I did not.
You most definitely did. We're gonna go back and watch this after together. Anyway, so at number 7, I have Justin Turner. World Series champion, Dodgers. Justin Turner. He won the MVP in the NLCS last year. He is absolutely positively a stud. He is a guy that I want on my team every single day of the week. Hit 307 last year in the shortened season, 292 on his career, 1.5 WAR last year. Only 4 home runs. Doesn't hit for a ton of power, but he's an on-base machine. This guy is always on base. His OBP last year was 400. And so for that reason, plus his defensive prowess, he's very good defensively at third base. Not to mention, the kid is just a leader in that Dodgers clubhouse. So for me, I have Justin Turner at number 7.
Yeah, and I do like Justin Turner. I mean, like I like just like as a person and like overall, like I think he's a solid player. But like then I kind of got into the complex, like in my head, like if you have Matt Muncy in the top 10, like you almost have to put Justin Turner in in the top 10, right? I mean, so with that being said, I actually had Justin Turner at number 6, and at number 7 I had Nolan Arenado coming at number 7.
So people are going to be a little bit surprised at where I have Nolan Arenado as well. I do have him there. I have him a little bit higher than what you have him, but not as high as most people do. I am not very high with Nolan Arenado outside of Colorado, but the guy is still a
hitting
stud.
Wise though, right? Not fielding.
Yeah, hitting wise for sure. Not field. I mean, look, fielding is fielding. I mean, no matter where you go, fielding at third base is fielding at third base. So defensively, he's going to be the same guy. Offensively, he's going to be completely different, and that may hurt him a lot in these rankings come next season. So at number 6, I actually have Josh Donaldson. This guy was absolutely amazing last year over in Atlanta, which is, I mean, so good last year. In Minnesota. And so for me, Josh Donaldson just proves time and time again that he's a top 10 third baseman. His bat proves it. His glove proves it. He is just a stud. I can't believe that this guy has not gotten a long-term deal just yet. I mean, he keeps signing these one-year deals and hasn't gotten this long-term deal. I love what Josh Donaldson brings to the game. I love his leadership. I love his glove. His bat speaks for itself. So I have Josh Donaldson at number 6.
Correct me if I'm wrong. He played for the Blue Jays when they did the whole bat flip thing versus the Astros, right?
He did.
Okay. So like I wanted to refresh my memory and kind of like compound.
Yeah, that was against the Rangers, though. You're talking about Jose Bautista?
Right, yeah.
Batista bomb.
Either way, a Texas team that cheats, right? But coming in at number 6, I'm going to butcher his last name, but it is the Reds' third baseman, and Eugenio. Watching
Eugenio Suarez. I didn't have him in my top 10, actually.
Really?
I have him at 11. I like the kid. I like him a lot. For me, the guys that are in my top 10 are more well-rounded than Eugenio Suarez is. Eugenio Suarez strikes out a lot.
Right.
He's not on base a whole lot. He does hit for power. I mean, the kid's got a ton of power, and he's a stud at third base for the Reds. But I think the problem with him, too, comes to see, which I think is going to be the same problem for Nolan Arenado this year, is there's just no protection for him.
Right.
You know, you either hit him ahead of oh God, his name's gonna escape me. Why do I always do this? The Canadian first baseman that they have over there in Cincinnati. God,
I'm drawing a
I
blank
can't
as
think
well,
of his
man.
name. But at any rate, they either hit him ahead of him or they hit him behind him, and either way, he's not going to see anything to hit. So it's just one of those things. I think that hurts him a lot. Plus, he does swing and miss a ton. So I just, I will. I got him there, but I just don't have him in the top 10 just yet.
So here is the reason why I have him so high versus you is
Yes,
because
Joey Votto says Vinny Cure. That's the name. Thank you, Vinny.
Yeah.
So Joey Votto.
So the reason why I have him so high is because like I just think the Reds are going to be a complete dumpster fire this year. Like I don't think they're going to be any good whatsoever. So there is no reason to kind of pitch around him, right? So I think he is going to see a lot more pitches than what people think because there is no reason to pitch around him in the end. So like with that being said, I think he has the most upside this season out of all the third basemen.
I agree.
Number 5.
At number 5, I've got Nolan Arenado. I know a lot of people have Arenado either in their top 2, top 3. Some even have him at number 1. I love the kid defensively. I really, really do. But I've said this time and time again when talking about Arenado since the trade to the Cardinals is that he is a 312 lifetime hitter in Coors, and he's a 260 lifetime hitter away from Coors Field.
Right.
And then you combine that where he's going to St. Louis where he's not going to have any help in the lineup. I mean, other than Paul Goldschmidt, they have Goldschmidt and they have Arenado. They've got nothing. So he's going to be in that same position that you have with Suarez with Votto. Is you're either going to be hitting ahead of Votto, and you're not going to get anything to hit, or you're going to hit behind Votto, and you're not going to get anything to hit because there's nobody behind you. So for me, Arenado is probably going to slip very far after this season. I mean, he's going to have to show me that he can hit outside of Colorado in order for me to think of him as real. If he comes out this year and has a season where he hits 300, still hits for 30 home runs, and still does all the things he's doing, then I might move him all the way up to number 1.
Ooh, wow.
But I just have to see him hit outside of Colorado before I can move him up the list.
So this is where I have your boy Josh Arnoldson. Like I absolutely love the way this guy's play. Like you can tell, like each and every game that he plays, he's given 100% effort, and it is all heart at the end of the day. So that's why I have him where he is at now. Like I was, kind of looking at like other people's top 10s as lock as well, and on average, he's sitting about 18, 19 range. So me and you are really high on him this year. So, I mean, that might be good for the Minnesota Twins.
Yeah, no, and look, I like what Donaldson has done over the years. I just, with Arenado, for me, it's just about a body of work. Nolan Arenado's, superior defensively to Donaldson for sure. Has a stronger arm, has more range, but I just, 8 gold gloves and 4 platinum gloves for Nolan Arenado is
right.
what puts him ahead of Anthony Rendon, of Josh Donaldson for me.
All right, so coming in at number 4.
Coming in at number 4, the Cleveland Indians, Jose Ramirez.
Ooh.
Year after year after year, this guy gets overlooked. Very underrated third baseman. Very good with the glove, but even better with the bat. 292 batting average last year, 17 home runs, 64 hits, and 219 at bats in the 60-game season. Was very good last year for the Cleveland Indians. Was everything that they needed him to be: a leader, a spark plug. And he's just one of those guys. So for me, for Boston fans, if you guys don't know who Jose Ramirez is, he's like a Hispanic Dustin Pedroia. He's very tiny, but he's just gritty, and he just plays the game the right way. He loves playing the game, and he is a force, and he is very underrated in this game. I have him at number 4.
So this is where I have Nolan Arenado, simply because you cannot sleep on what he's done in the past. And yes, I agree with everything that you said. Hitters, a hitter's park, yada yada yada. But at the end of the day, shooters shoot, right? And he is still going to make contact with the ball a lot this season. Maybe not for as much power, but definitely going to get on base a lot this season. So I have Arenado there at number 4.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with people switching, like, when you're one where you had like Josh Donaldson at 5 and that type of stuff. I don't mind that stuff. Like, I think we're in the same ballpark. You can probably argue one way or the other, and you're probably not wrong. I mean, the people that are arguing for Nolan Arenado to be 2 or 3, they're not wrong either. I think if you argue for him to be at number 1, that's when I kind of, start squinting at you and looking at you all crazy, like you're insane. But 2 or 3 or 4 for Nolan Arenado, I don't have a problem with that.
All right, coming in at number 3.
At number 3, and I love watching this kid play. I love watching his shortstop play. San Diego Padres, Manny Machado. He has done it his entire career. But last year, 304 average, 16 home runs, and 47 RBIs in 60 games. He was unbelievable last year. He is a 2-time Gold Glove winner. He's won a Platinum Gold Glove as well. 4-time All-Star. He's also won a Silver Slugger Award. The kid is for real. Him and Fernando Tatis are going to do great things in San Diego, and I expect Manny Machado to have a huge year. The only reason why I don't have him higher on the list is just the 2 guys that I have ahead of him are just head and shoulders, I think, the best 2 third basemen in baseball.
Okay, so I have left some pretty big names off the list simply because I hate the Boston Sox, so I'm going to show favoritism to any other team besides them. So I'm leaving the Boston Red Sox third baseman Rafael Devers off the list just because I don't like Boston at all. But I don't like the Yankees here. I did see Mike LeBlanc in the chat, but I got to go with DJ LeMahieu here, coming in at number 3.
LeMahieu plays second though. LeMahieu's the second baseman.
Isn't he moving into third base?
No. He's a second baseman. He plays second. They've got the name's gonna escape me. Urshela, the guy who I have at number 8, is the Yankees' third baseman.
I could have swore they were moving him to third base.
No, he's gonna play second.
Okay, so I misread the article then. My bad. Okay. So with that being said, I got to go with number 2. Anthony Rendon is my number 2 guy.
Okay, yeah. I mean, we're at number 3.
Right. Well, he'd be my next guy so.
Good to move up. All right, I got you. So at number 2, I have Alex Bregman. And I know a lot of people this is going to surprise a lot of people because I hate the Houston Astros. I really, really do. But other than a down year last year, which again I said I kind of throw 2020 out of it, this guy is just he's head and shoulders above the rest of the guys below him, and he's probably right next to the guy that's above him. I have Alex Bregman at number 2. He did only hit 242 last year, but he's a 283 career hitter. And the guy does it all with the glove, does it all for Houston. He is a leader in that clubhouse. So I really like Alex Bregman.
So since my top 10 is all screwed up because I misread an article, my bad, I got to go with number 1, and it is Manny Machado. I think he's hands down the best third baseman in all of baseball this year, and he is going to have another spectacular season. I did see in the chat there he did hit 16 home runs in 60 games. So like at that pace, he was on pace for 40 home runs, right? So Manny Machado is the best third baseman going into the 2021 season. No,
that's why I disagree with you. I've got Anthony Rendon is the best third baseman heading into the 2021 season. 286 average last year, 9 home runs, and 31 RBIs. 418 OBP, which is what puts him ahead of Manny Machado for me. The guy is just an absolute stud at the plate. He is a stud defensively. He's a stud all around, and he is going to be the reason why the Angels win the AL West this year and actually compete in the American League to head to the World Series. They're my sleeper pick. I really love Anthony Rendon in this lineup, batting ahead of Mike Trout, and I just love what they're doing over in Anaheim, and so I have Anthony Rendon is the best third baseman heading into the 2021 season.
Alrighty, guys. So that is Combs' top 10 third basemen going into the 2021 Major League Baseball season. I believe the first game is beginning of April, right, Combs. So we got a little over a month
April
away.
1st is the is opening day, and it really looks more and more like every stadium's going to have fans in it. I know they're talking about in Texas having 100% capacity, but I just saw a story that the Cubs and the White Sox both petitioned the city to have at least 30% capacity heading into the season. So I'm telling you right now, if that gets passed, I might be off of the man hour for a couple of days because I'll be camping outside of Wrigley looking for tickets. Or maybe I'll be broadcasting right from Wrigley. I'll bring my stuff with me.
Why not?
But I will be out there looking for tickets. The two of you will have to come up and take in the Cubs game with me.
Alrighty, right.
I would love to, man.
Okay, Wyatt. So, we like the chat line has been going off there during the segment here. So let's go ahead and jump over to the chat here line and discuss some other people's opinions here.
So, we got Tori Anderson says he is number 1. End of list. I think that one was awesome.
What team
where
does
was
Tori Anderson play for? Is it still the Brewers? And like is he still?
He plays
locking
for
it down?
the Milwaukee Suck.
Oh, there it is. I gotta find it on here. It's way up here.
Look at Timothy Leonard's here. Timothy Leonard, I'll pull it up real quick. He has Arenado at 1, Rendon at 2, Machado at 3, Bregman at 4, Ramirez at 5. Timothy, I just disagree with Arenado at 1. Like, I don't see how anybody could look at his home and away splits from Colorado and still say that he's the number 1 third baseman. It's just too much for me. So for, like I said earlier, 2, 3, 4, I can see it. At number 1, I just don't because he can't hit outside of Coors Field.
And I had to scroll up here pretty far, but I did find it. Hoffy calls out Combs here. Combs is mad because I struck him out in slow pitch. Tori Anderson says,
I've never
was
struck
it
out
looking,
slow pitch.
swinging, or foul ball? He said swinging 2 times.
Oh, he's a liar. Do not let
Yikes.
Hoffy. I can't wait till the lackey comes on here.
Yikes.
He is a liar. I have never once in my life struck out in slow pitch softball.
So, funny story here, guys. I have struck out once in slow pitch softball. So we were playing in a tournament where there was no height, height pitch rule, right? And this guy skies at about 15 foot, and it hits on the back of the plate. And first things first, Combs, is the black part of the plate a part of the plate?
Yes.
Like the black outline.
Yes.
So the ball hit.
Well, so
hit
it's
that.
different. So in slow pitch, if it hits the black part of the plate, the front of the plate, if it bounces over the plate, it's a strike. If it bounces back and goes towards the pitcher or bounces out sideways into foul territory, it's a ball.
So this pitch went about 15 foot in the air, hit the very back point of the plate, and the umpire called half and half, strike 3. I simply looked at him. I'm like, what is half and half? And he's like, you are out of here. So I got ejected from the game
For asking what half and half was?
Yeah, and I guess he thought I was be like a.
That's not like you had some cuss words in
guy.
there somewhere, right?
No, so funny thing is, like, when I talk trash, I do not cuss. So
then you must have had one of those. You must have had one of those umpires who just has not had a date in like 45 years and is just really have some pent up frustrations.
He was 22, very wet behind the ears, and just kind of looking to make a name for himself. Like I feel.
Probably
Well, boys, I have never once stepped to the plate in slow pitch softball and not hit a home run. So, just so you know,
You've
He
never
also
once
has
stepped
never
to
played
plate in fast pitch in slow pitch softball. I'm sure.
yeah, that's true. Yeah,
All right,
Yeah,
guys. So
so-
we are
but hey,
going
I've
to
never
take.
once not hit a home run.
True.
There you go. All right, guys. We are going to take a quick little break. On the other side of the break, we have. Ain't nobody got time for that, guys. So stay tuned here on the Man Hour. We'll be right back.
What is going on, Man Hour Nation? Buck caught me off guard there. I didn't even hear the music end. My bad. But at any rate, it is time for one of, a fan favorite segment that we have here. And that is Ain't Nobody's Got Time for That. And Ain't Nobody Got Time for That is one of those where we just kind of come up with a few topics that we want to talk about that have happened over the last week, whether it be sports related or just life related. And then we play this little clip.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that.
All right, guys. So you guys ready to go?
Let's do it.
All
Ready.
right, guys. So the first thing I want to talk about is our boy Josh Gordon. Josh Gordon is one of those guys who just...
Hang on. He's not my boy. I'm going to run him in the wall every time. Come on over the middle, boy. Do it. All right.
He gets cut by the Seahawks, and there's all sorts of talk about him going to the fan-controlled football league. And we even talked about earlier week that he's probably done in the NFL. Guy can't stay clean, can't keep himself in the NFL long enough to do anything. It's a very sad story to me. Like, I just don't understand what he is doing. That he can't get himself right to make millions and millions of dollars. Like, for me, I just don't understand it. I really wish that somebody would say, hey, Josh Gordon pissed away all these millions of dollars. What should we do with it? Combs, do you want it? Because I'd be like, hell yeah, I want it. I can stay clean. I can pass every drug test you give me. For millions and millions of dollars, I'll do whatever you need me to do. And, he just can't do it. I could ride the bench for millions and millions of dollars, which is what Josh Gordon has done in the NFL.
No, and it's essentially like the most wasted NFL career possibly of all time. Josh Gordon came into the league and was incredible. I mean, if he would have just been able to stay out of trouble, we could be talking about one of the greatest wide receivers of all time right now, or a top 10 guy for sure, because of his insane athletic ability, his huge body frame and how great he was, his route running, all that stuff combined into one. We would be talking about an incredible wide receiver, a top guy for this era of football, but he couldn't stay not doing the things he shouldn't have been. He continued to do the things he shouldn't have been, and even through all that stuff. Now I will say it is kind of a sad story with the whole mental illness. There is some stuff going on, of course, with all that. So it does suck that he's dealing with that, but at the same time, like, it's just, he was missing therapy sessions too. I heard rumors about that. He wasn't going to therapy sessions and he was skipping those, and, he's skipping those to smoke marijuana. And so, when you're doing that in the NFL, that's going to get you a ticket out very quickly, as long as it is not an allowed substance into the league.
Yeah. Wyatt. I have sat here and listened to you talk about Josh Gordon, about how high his potential career could have been. Let's look at his stats. Rookie year 2012 with the Cleveland Browns, played 16 games, 800 yards. Is that a Hall of Fame career like on pass? Absolutely not. Next year,
did none of it while he was sober.
Yeah. Well, the next year he did play 14 games. Had just under 1,700 receiving, had a fantastic year, right? 100% fantastic.
Still was not sober.
Yep.
Still was not sober. So moving forward, he played 5 games, 300 yards, played 5 games, 300 yards, played 12 games, 700 yards. You can talk all you want about how potential he could have been, how great he could have been, but the simple fact of the matter is he had one season over 1,000 yards. He had one season where he
only played 2 full years. One of those was his rookie year.
Exactly. So how can you even consider saying somebody is the greatest of all time, a top receiver, when he's played 2 seasons?
Well,
that is like people crowning.
He was incredible for that year. He had 1,700 yards.
If Patty Mahomes gets hurt right now, the talk will be the rest of his career if he never gets
What
right again
could have
and
been,
doesn't
yeah.
play well is he could have been the greatest quarterback of all time.
Yeah.
It's the same talk that you're having with Josh Gordon. He could have been the greatest receiver of all time, but he just couldn't. He couldn't stay dry. Like he had to smoke weed, and I get it. I mean, some of these guys do, and with the stuff that they put their body through, I don't think that there's a problem with it. It's legal in most states now, so like I don't understand it. I think he's going to end up being one of those guys who is signing autographs, much like Ricky Williams does now. And there's a Dolphins helmet out there, and I can't wait to get my hands on it. The Dolphins helmet out there, Ricky Williams, and the inscription on it is "Smoke weed every day." So that is what Ricky Williams was about. That's what Ricky Williams liked to do, and he liked to do it more than football. And when you're dealing with that type of stuff, however you cope with it, it's not for me to say. But at the same time, you threw away your entire career, and I get it. Look, I get the mental illness. I've lost friends to depression. I understand it. Like, I get it. But none of those friends were on the verge of making millions and millions of dollars. None of those friends were doing the stuff on a football field that this guy could do. And he just pissed it all away. Like, I don't understand it.
Yeah. No, I mean, absolutely. I mean, and you're 100% right. The mental illness side of it absolutely is terrible. And I feel horrible for the guy. But at the end of the day, if you're skipping therapy sessions and stuff like that, then you're not trying to get better. It would be one thing if he was, being a part of that, if he was trying to get better every single day, he was working toward it. If he was, going to his meetings that are, not AA meetings, what would that be considered some kind of a addiction, whatever it is. He was skipping those meetings. If you're going to those and he had a real issue with the depression. I totally get that, and that's a terrible thing. But if you're not doing the steps to fix that and you're not doing the steps to make that better, then what are we supposed to do? What is the NFL supposed to do at that point? You're breaking the substance rules. It's a clear format.
This is what we
know
do,
what you're not supposed to do. Do what?
This is what we do. This is what we do to people like that.
Nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that.
You stole my thunder, man. That's where I was going with it.
Nobody got time for that.
But at any rate, the next thing we want to get into on Ain't Nobody Got Time for That is this debacle that is canceling Dr. Seuss, canceling Mr. Potato Head, canceling all of that. I want to know where we became in a society where girls are joining the Boy Scouts, boys are joining the Girl Scouts. It's okay for men to go into women's restrooms. It's okay for men to try out for women's sports at every level. Like, I just don't understand where we become where that's okay, but Dr. Seuss and Mr. Potato Head are not okay. I don't understand where we are as a society anymore. And to be honest with you, it is completely just I don't even say it's maddening. It's just sad. Like, I'm just sad. Like, I feel like a father. Like, I'm not mad. I'm disappointed.
Well, here's the thing with Mr. Potato Head. Mr. Potato Head is still around. They just dropped the Mr. It is now Potato Head because Hasbro, right, is the people that make Mr. Potato Head. They said that it was never intended to be a man or a female.
Didn't they have a Mrs. Potato Head as well?
Yeah, exactly. My son actually has them from the Toy Story. Like, he has.
And did any of them have a genitalia?
No, I don't. I'm not.
No, none of them had a genitalia. Mr. Potato Head did not come with a whatever. He did not come with a midsection, and neither did Mrs. Potato Head. So why are we doing this? They had Mr. Potato Head, Mrs. Potato. We had it all taken care of. There was nothing there. There.
The difference between Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head, Mr. Potato Head had the nice black mustache, right? The nice, like the nice strong 1980s mustache.
Yeah.
And then Mrs. Potato Head had the pink lips, like the nice, well manicured lips. Like, that was the biggest difference between 1 and 2, right? That is, right. But yeah.
And if you want to make it local to 2021, put the mustache and the big lips on them. Like, it's fine. If you want to make Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head one potato, that's fine. That's your prerogative. Do whatever you got to do. But stop. Not everybody believes what you believe in. Same thing with why there's different religions. If you wanna be, I don't care what your sexual affiliation is, whether you're a man, a woman, transgender, whatever. Great, good for you. That's great. But it doesn't mean I have to.
Now,
Like,
let's go ahead and
just
talk
don't
about the
get it.
whole Dr. Seuss thing. First things first is I literally read my son Green Eggs and Ham to bed every night. We read that book front to back every night. But apparently that was not the book that was pulled from the shelf. It was like if I ran a zoo, because apparently it was derogatory towards certain people. Like, have you guys ever read
Why?
that book?
Who lives in a zoo? Who's the
No,
guy
so, like,
that is living in a zoo that says
scene-
I'm offended by the monkeys? Like,
Yeah, the
I don't
scene
get
that-
it.
The scene that they were real upset about is it's in like it's called like the places you'll go on Mulberry Street, something like that. And there is a picture in the book involving someone holding a whip and then other people that are being whipped or something like that, and that was what they were upset about. And
Let
they
me
took
ask you this
that out.
question, Wyatt. This book was written in 1937. Were you born then?
No, none of us were.
Combs, were you born then?
Nope.
My grandpa wasn't born when this book was wrote.
Yep.
So with that being said, why are we just now bringing it up?
Not only that, but you bring this up. Oh, there was somebody that was being whipped. Okay, well, you know what? 2 years ago on Valentine's Day, everybody and their mother was going to see 50 Shades of Grey. Nobody cared about whips then, did they?
Combs,
You know what I have to say to all those people?
Nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that. Nobody got.
Hey, you hit the button on me. Stop. You told me to lead the segment. I'm leading it.
It's time for break. Wrap it up.
God. All right, so we got to go
it
to
up,
break.
boys.
We didn't get to our last one, which was going to be the most fun because we're going to talk about LeBron being LeBron.
We'll
But
save
anyway,
it for the shop talk at the very end of the episode, so save it.
We'll definitely save it. We'll definitely get into it.
Put a pin in it.
All right, guys. So let's get over to the comments here. See what people were saying during that segment. Timothy Leonard says, "Grass over turf, smoking bowls, running holes." And then he comes out and says, "Man, throwing so much negativity towards someone who's struggling with depression." Well, you did the same thing in your comment, Tim. And we weren't throwing shade at somebody who was struggling with depression. We were throwing shade at somebody who couldn't stop from smoking weed long enough to make millions and millions of dollars. I understand the depression thing. Look, we've dealt with it in droves in Hollywood. You look at guys like Heath Ledger. You know what I mean? Like,
Let me
guys who had
let me
so
let
much
you
in front of
guys
them and then
in.
took their own life.
Let me let you guys into my life a little bit here. Out of college, I struggled with depression really, really bad because, I messed up my shoulder really, really bad. I had no structure in life, nowhere to go, and like I was very, very clinically depressed. They make medicine to help you. They literally say, take this pill
I
and it'll
agree.
help you out.
But
Like,
there's also different levels and different mentalities too. So we do have to be cognizant of that. Not everybody deals with it the same, just like not everybody heals the same, not everybody grieves the same.
So it is okay to do an illegal drug to make yourself feel better. No,
Well, it's not illegal anymore.
It is in the NFL.
Well,
And that's
I agree.
And it's-
that's where
I
he
agree.
works.
It's
Like,
illegal in all states except for like 4. Now, I don't even know about that. Isn't it
No,
like
there's
Colorado,
way more than
California?
4. Yeah,
and it is still a federal crime. So if the feds wanted to come in and get you, even though your state says it's okay, they can do it. Let's just be honest, guys.
the states are taxing it. So what are they going to do? Arrest the state?
Well, they can arrest you for having marijuana on you. Yes.
I doubt. I don't think that that's true, but I mean it could be. I just think that if they're legalizing it in states, we need to be more okay about it. And Wyatt, just so you know, there are actually only 1, 2, 3. I'm looking at it now, 4, 5, 6 states in the United States that is not legal.
I was off by 2. It's close though.
You said there's only 4 states where it is legal. There's
No,
only
I said
6 states where
isn't.
it's not.
Oh, really?
All right, guys. So
Yes.
let's go ahead and take our next break. We are on the top of the hour here. We had the famous segment called Liar Liar, led to you by Wyatt Williams. We'll be right back here after the break.
Man Hour Nation. It is the best, the greatest, the top segment. We have fan favorite, whatever you want to call it, favorite, best, liar, liar. Boys, are we ready for the best competition we have here on Man Hour every
That's
week?
the first lie.
Yeah.
What's the best?
What's the
Way or
best?
no way? What the? Ain't nobody got time for that. Then
Oh
liar,
no.
liar.
Liar, liar
It
is
would
pretty
be
liked
the
by
best.
the fans.
It would be the best if you would, go put your hair on the line, or actually play me in a game of Madden. You keep.
I will
tricking
play
me
you
out
in a
of.
game of Madden.
I'll
If
tell
you
right
buy
now,
a Wi-Fi router for my house, I'll play you. How about that?
I will buy a Wi-Fi router.
You
for
are
your
welcome
house,
to come over to
but
my house,
I'll buy the
Wyatt,
Wi-Fi
and play
router for your house. But if I beat you in that game of Madden, you have to shave your head.
I'm not shaped by it.
All right. Well,
Anyways,
getting
two
around-
liar,
There's a way out.
liar now. I give 2 lies, 1 truth. Everybody knows the rules. First 1 to 3 wins it. If nobody wins the point goes to the greatest pitcher of all time, Trevor Bauer. Let's get started, gentlemen. Okay, first one. And Buck is our 2-time reigning champ now, right? So we're all tied up at 2.
Going back
And-
to back.
So Buck, you start us off here. So here we go. Golf balls can reach speeds of 170 miles per hour. Okay. The shortest NBA game was 15 minutes long. And Pokemon Go is now considered a sport in Japan. So we have golf balls can reach a speed of 170 mile an hour. The shortest NBA game ever played all time was 15 minutes long. And Pokemon Go is considered a sport in Japan. Buck, take the floor, sir.
Well, first of all, I do know Pokemon is very, very popular in Japan because that's where it originated from. But I don't know, I'm not sure how you can make it in a sport. But I'm going to lean towards that. I mean, why not? That sounds just crazy that it might be true. And there is no ball traveling 170 miles an hour. That is just absolutely ridiculous.
All right. And what were the other two again? Because I was going back and forth with Tori on YouTube. One, real quick.
Yes, so it is golf balls can reach a speed of 170 mile an hour, and then the shortest NBA game ever played was 15 minutes long.
I'm going to go with the golf ball can reach a speed of 170 miles per hour. Those things come off of the tee really, really fast. Tiger Woods could probably hit one 240 miles an hour, I would assume. I'm going to go with the golf ball one.
But it literally takes us 45 seconds to travel 200 yards. So
It doesn't.
man.
Stop it.
it does.
It does not.
So with that being said, we do have a winner, and starting off the night at 1-0 is Mr. BC Brandon Combs. A golf ball, on average, can be hit in the PGA Tour can be hit at speeds of up to 170 mile an hour.
That is.
Yeah.
Show me the facts on that because
That's
that
crazy.
is a 100% lie.
And don't be saying after the show, Buck, oh, I knew that one was right, but I just let you have it because I wanted you to be able to. I didn't want to make it look like I was just giving all the answers. Bull crap. You didn't know it. I knew it.
I thought for sure I was going to get you guys on the shortest NBA game. I thought for sure. I was like, what is one that sounds crazy enough that's sounds semi-true? Like maybe it had maybe it was an outdoor game and it got delayed. Something happened, but no.
Outdoor NBA game? Come on. What?
They play outdoor games all the time.
And hockey.
And hockey does it. Football and soccer do it, of
should
course.
definitely do a blacktop NBA game. Dude,
For
those are
sure.
So much fun to watch.
I hope they do it in Chicago so there's no 3-point shots and they all just get
There'd be
blown off the
5
court.
shootings during the game.
Wow.
And I'm not
Moving
talking
on.
about shooting the ball either.
Wow.
Moving on.
Okay. Next. So Combs, you are leading the night 1-0. You lead the series is tied at 2-2. You start on this next one. Okay, here we go. So the Panthers organization owns a share in McDonald's. Okay.
Okay.
Next one. Track and field is the most popular Olympic sport in Egypt.
Ooh.
And your third one, tug of war, was an Olympic sport for 20 years. So you have the Panthers own a share in McDonald's. You have track and field as the most popular Olympic sport in Egypt. And you also have tug of war was an Olympic sport for 20 years.
Now, 20 years, does that mean 5 Olympic Games? Because it's only every 4 years.
Yes.
Okay.
So a 20-year stretch.
Man.
Go for it.
What was the second one again? What was the middle one?
Track and field is the most popular Olympic sport in Egypt.
Man. I'm gonna go with tug of war. I'm gonna say tug of war was an Olympic sport for 20 years.
All right.
Yeah, that's Combs. That's kind of the way that I was leaning towards at lock as well, because I feel like we just didn't pull tug of war out of the air to play in like gym.
But that second one,
class,
man,
right?
Egypt.
Yeah.
Egypt. The only reason why I didn't go with that one is because I feel like if that was their favorite Olympic sport, they'd be better at it.
Well, is Egypt even in the Olympics? Like, I feel like I've never seen
they're in the
Egyptians.
Olympics.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So just
Wrestling
by
is huge for them.
just because I think Combs is right, I'm gonna go with the Egyptian one.
All right. So with that being said, taking a 2-0 lead on the night is BC Brandon Combs. As tug of war was an Olympic sport. I did not write down the years on it. I should have done that.
How cool would it be if it's still there
Trevor
now?
Bauer ain't getting no points tonight, baby.
No, Trevor Bauer has 0, just like Buck. Big old goose egg.
Man, I'm feeling kind of left out. Give me an easy one.
All right, so Buck, you take over this next one. Here we go. So, an MLB ball rotates 15 times before it gets hit by a bat. So once it leaves the pitcher's hand, it rotates 15 times before a bat connects with it, or it hits a glove, either one. Next, the state sport for Wyoming is jousting. Okay? And also the third one, Jesse Owens, legendary Olympian, broke 4 world records in 10 minutes one time at the Olympics. So we have MLB balls rotate 15 times before being hit. State sport for Wyoming is jousting, and Jesse Owens broke 4 world records in 10 minutes at the Olympics. Buck, you have the floor, sir.
So let's go ahead and clarify the baseball one. Is that 15 rotations per second or 15 rotations total?
Total, like from the time that the ball leaves the pitcher's hand, it will rotate 15 times before it hits the glove or a bat, either one.
Yeah, Combs, like, I know you are a baseball connoisseur, but I feel like that rotation is a lot less. Like, I feel like it's more like 15 times per second, like, rolling through there.
Do you realize how fast a baseball gets to home plate?
Right, yeah. I mean, what, like 0.9 seconds or something like that, right?
It's about, you got about
yeah.
0.4 seconds to react to it.
So, with that being said, jousting, that's a rich person sport, and I'm not saying people from Wyoming aren't rich, but they're more into cattle and playing football. And
Wyoming doesn't exist.
Whatever.
I have a theory on that.
Flat Earth. So I'm going to go with the revolutions of a baseball 15 times before it gets to the plate.
All right, Combs.
I was really hoping you go somewhere else because I'm pretty sure that's correct. What was the last one?
Jesse Owens breaking 4 world records in 10 minutes. I'm going to go with that one.
Jesse Owens, 4 world records, 10 minutes. Guy was a beast. I'm going to go with that one.
All right.
But I think Buck is right.
Everybody locking in?
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this. So with that being said, we do have somebody getting a point tonight. Trevor Bauer is not, but Combs has not won yet because Buck answers back, making it 2-1.
There we go.
An MLB ball rotates 15 times. Fun fact on the Jesse Owens one. Jesse Owens broke 4 world records in 45 minutes, which is absolutely incredible.
So it was back-to-back races, basically, because
yes,
each race.
I think it was high jump. Yeah. I think it was high jump, and then I think it was like 100, 200, and then the 400. I think that's what it was. I could be totally wrong though, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Anyways, 2-1 on the night. Combs leads it next. Here we go. We have Mark. Okay, Combs, you're up first here. We have Mark McGwire's 1998 homers put together. So his home runs put together, all of them could fly over Mount Everest. Okay. Next, we have the best Madden player in the world makes over $20 million a year.
I don't know that much.
Next, Michigan State's footballs are made out of rubber and a slight mix of concrete into the leather to give it that hard feel on the outside. So you have Mark McGwire's 1998 season of home runs could string together and go over Mount Everest. You have the best Madden player in the world, makes over $20 million a year, and also Michigan State's footballs are made out of rubber and a slight touch of concrete.
I'm going with McGuire's home runs. That guy was a beast, man. I remember watching him hit one out of Oakland that went out of the Coliseum and hit a freaking a work truck across the street. So I'm gonna say you put 72 of those together. I'm gonna say that you go ahead and or actually I think he hit 70 that year. But at any rate, I'm gonna go with McGuire's home runs.
Well, isn't Mount Everest like 8,000 foot tall or something like that? So to go over it, like you go up 8,000 and down 8,000, you're looking like 16,000. And first of all, there's a reason why they call a football the pigskin. They don't call it the rubber skin. It is called the pigskin. So Michigan State is obviously wrong, but the Madden player, he makes $20 million because I believe I have seen that somewhere. So I'm going to go with the Madden player.
All right. And with that being said, taking away a point here and the win on the night of Liar Liar, that is BC, Brandon Combs, Mark McGuire's 1998 season. The home runs put together could travel 29,598 feet. That is
insane.
insane.
Back my throne, baby. My rightful spot at the top of Liar Liar.
We're still tied.
3-2. No, it's
not.
3-2 now. Combs has a 3-2 lead.
It was 2-2. How can we go from tied to back to tied when you just lost? You are such a cheater, Buck.
You have won one time. That was the first time ever.
What are you talking about?
This is the fourth time playing it. How can we have 5?
It is not the fourth. No.
Yes,
God.
it is. Come on.
Ooh,
You're fired,
liar, liar,
Buck.
baby.
So how tall is Mount Everest?
I don't know.
I'm now convinced you do the math on Streamlabs.
Come on, Wyatt. You don't even know.
This is 29,000 feet and 29,029 feet.
And how
So
many feet did Mark McGuire hit that particular year? Like 28,000, you said?
No, it was 29,000. Let me get back to it here.
Crazy, Combs. 29,000
so he hit it.
feet.
He hit it 29,598. So he even beat it.
And you
He
figure,
probably beat it by like 2
70 now.
homer.
Divide that number by 70 real quick.
Okay.
You're looking at
Because that's the average
400,
footage
yeah.
on his
Sheesh.
home runs. That's insane. The guy was a beast, man. Look, that Torrey Anderson. I'm not even gonna address that comment.
422.
That's insane, man. The average home
Wyatt,
run was 422 feet.
You run that up to 423 because we don't do points on feet. So 423 feet.
423 feet. Oh no, 422 feet and 8 inches.
That's not 8 inches. That's be 80%. So 12.
Wyatt doesn't know what 8 inches is.
Jeez.
Woo!
Cancel culture for Combs here tonight, guys. So, guys, we're going to take a quick little break. On the other side of the break, we're going to talk some Baker Mayfield and some NFL talk. So, if you guys want to talk about anything in the chat, let us know in the for the Shop Top segment at the end of the show here. Let us know over here on youtube.com/man hour. We'll be right back here, guys, after this beloved break. And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckeyes along with Brandon Combs and Wyatt Williams. Before we get into the final segment of today's show, this Friday edition here on Big X Sports Radio, 96.1 FM, Brandon Combs, tell us a little bit about Angel with an A.
Yeah, absolutely. A great, spot to go ahead and donate. Angel with an A is dedicated to Angela Dewey, who lost her life a few years back. And her sister is now heading this memorial motorcycle ride for her every year. This year's ride is on May 1st. $25 per rider if you want to ride your motorcycles. For every $25 you donate, though, you'll get another card. And the top 10 poker hands will win a prize. All proceeds go to a scholarship fund in Angela Dewey's memory. Every $250 donated by Man Hour listeners, Man Hour will donate an additional $25. And even if you can't donate, just go to the Facebook page and click on share. You never know who else is able to donate. And let's make this as big as we can for Angela and for Jesse.
Yeah, and you guys can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Man Hour Sports Talk, or you can also find this flyer at manhourradio.com as well. So let's go ahead and bring the boys back on the screen here, guys. We have talked some Major League Baseball tonight. We have had our segment Liar Liar, and of course we had Two Truths and a Lie, Ain't Nobody Got Time for that. So ain't nobody got time for Buck mixing two segments into one and calling them different names. So with that being said here, guys, the quarterback carousel has been hot and heavy basically since the Super Bowl ended, right? And we are seeing names get thrown around left and right. Sam Darnold, Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson, Jimmy G, and now the latest quarterback name to get thrown into this carousel is Baker Mayfield from the Cleveland Browns. He is being linked to being traded to Chicago, being traded to Dallas as well as possibly even Houston. So, Combs, I'm going to kick it to you first. Does all this talk about Baker Mayfield getting traded hurt his psyche going into the 2021 season?
I'm not so. I don't know, because his psyche is kind of hard to read. Like, he is one of those quarterbacks who, over the course of his career, has just been very, very inconsistent. There's a lot of trade talk about him going to the Bears. I don't see that happening. I did just hear a report today from Ian Rappaport that the Bears made a very large offer for Deshaun Watson that is not expected to be matched by any team in the league, which stunned me. But at the same time, I still don't think that they're.
I just want to know what was in that offer.
I have no clue. I haven't seen it. It's just been told as a very large offer. They haven't released the details of the trade offer yet. I mean, I've been on record as saying 3 first rounds and Khalil Mack is enough to get him. But at any rate, we're talking about Baker Mayfield. I don't think that his psyche does get hurt by the trade talk. I think maybe it drives him to play harder. I think maybe it works in Cleveland's favor, and maybe he comes out and just shows everybody, hey, I'm not going anywhere. Stop talking about moving me because I'm the franchise quarterback here in Cleveland.
So, Combs, you are going to turn 40 this month, and I feel that is the old school mentality type of thought here, saying, hey, if you don't have faith in me, I'm here to prove you wrong. But we do have a new school mentality called the millennials, and Wyatt is one of those guys. And so, Wyatt,
I missed the millennial generation. I'm not claiming millennials.
Well, you are a part of that generation, and I think
I'm like Gen Z.
Whatever you are a participation award trophy winner year after year after year. So you deserve, you are used to getting pat on the back.
Which is
and
why
you
he
are
got
doing,
to start over Zen that one year.
Yeah, it means so you are in a culture that is used to, kind of being like Baker Mayfield, pat on the back and coddled. Would you feel any resentment toward the Chicago or toward the Cleveland Browns moving forward this year?
Millennial. Get that crap out of here.
Whatever
I'm cutting off the generation at millennial. I'm the one below it. I think it's like Gen Z or something. I am not associating myself with those people. They are idiots.
Generation big hair.
Nonetheless, yes, big hair. It's better than being a millennial. Nonetheless, I think so. I mean, I kind of get where your confidence would be a little screwed because, you're the first overall draft pick. When you get drafted at that first overall pick, you're known to be the guy, and that doesn't matter what era of quarterback you are. If you're taken at that first overall pick, no matter what position you are, you're expected to be at that franchise for a long time, and you're expected to be a really good player for that franchise for a very long time. So, I guess it would strew your confidence a little bit, but at the same time, Baker Mayfield is a guy who you got to think about what he's been through in his football career. Love the guy or hate him, either way. I personally love his mentality. He walked on it at Texas Tech, I believe it was, then became the starter there. Was like, hey, this isn't working. I'm out of here. I'm going to Oklahoma. Walked on at Oklahoma, then became the starter there. Worked his way all the way up to a Heisman candidate after not being a ranked player in high school. He's 5'11". So the guy can mentally work through anything. The mentality is not what I'm worried about. I guess the biggest thing I'd be worried about for Baker is if he were to leave town. I think Cleveland is the best spot for him right now because of the success that he has breeded there. I mean, Cleveland has not been anything before Baker. I think Baker has really sparked this new era of Cleveland football. I mean, his first year there, they were what, 7-8-1, and then after that, they've really kind of taken off. And 7-8-1 doesn't look that great, but for a Browns team that went 0-16, most of my childhood, 1-15, 2-14, most of my childhood, that's pretty good. I mean, 7 wins for the Browns, that was huge for them. And then they made the playoffs this last year, knocked off the Steelers, made it on, almost beat Kansas City if Chad Henne wouldn't have stepped in and had a great play. So I could see where it would strew the confidence, but at the same time, he's a really mentally tough guy, and I think Baker will work through it no matter what.
Yeah, so just to add to your points here, a tad bit Wyatt, 2018 was his first year as a starter. He went 6-7 as a starter. He only played 14 games that particular season. Then he played 16 games the next year, went 6-10, and then last year he went 11-5. You said that he keeps getting better and better each year, but if you look at his stat-wise, he is actually going down each year. His first year into the league playing 14 games, he threw for 3,700 yards. The next year, 16 games, 3,800 yards. So 2 more games, only a hundred more yards passing-wise. And then last year, he went down to 3,500 yards. So he like statistically average per game, he is going down and down and down and down. With that being said, there should be no reason why you are even considering trading Baker Mayfield right now. He gave you guys your first playoff win. Combs, correct me if I'm wrong, but since the 80s, right, or early 90s, I believe was. Most of these kids on this Cleveland Brown team wasn't even born. Yeah. So yeah, but most of them weren't even born, or no, they were very, very young.
Yeah, the last time that the Cleveland Browns even beat Pittsburgh at Pittsburgh, Baker Mayfield was in kindergarten, I think it was. So, something like that.
Yeah. So there should be no reason why you're even putting this name in somebody's mouth to be even considered being trading, because whether you want to say you are old school mentality, new school mentality, it doesn't affect you. In the end, you are always looking in the back of your head thinking, wow, if I mess up one time, I am leaving town. So you start to play a little bit tighter. Look at Carson Wentz. He has always had a quarterback looking over his shoulder every year in Philly, and he just plays a little bit tighter. And just like when you play loose and you have fun, you play a lot better. Look how well Baker Mayfield and the Cleveland Browns played better after Odell Beckham Jr. left, or not left, but was injured for the year, because they were more relaxed. The pressure wasn't on them, and just it was loosey-goosey, having a great time.
Just a question here, totally off topic though. I got to thinking, okay, Buck, what year were you born and how old are you?
1987, 33.
1987. How old are you, sir? 33. Combs, what year were you born, sir?
81. I'm about to be 40, so I'm 39.
Buck, you're a millennial. Millennials are between the ages of 22 and 38 right now.
Cool.
Oh, good. I skipped the millennial generation. Thanks.
You missed it by 1 year, Combs. I was so excited when I saw that. I was like, dude, I think Combs is like 38. I was praying that you were 38. I was like, oh God.
The millennials are the second greatest generation of all time, besides the baby boomers.
Listen to you talk highly of the millennials now. 10 minutes ago, you were hating on them.
Generation Z. Aren't you guys supposed to be having a zombie apocalypse by now?
I don't see any zombie apocalypse going on here. I hope not.
So why, if you want to go that route, when I was coming up in age through high school, we were actually considered Generation X. So just recently they switched our name to the millennials. So I classify myself as Generation X.
D Generation X.
D Generation
to
X.
be exact. And if you're not down with that, we got 2 words for you.
Suck it! Do you even know what we're talking about, Wyatt?
FCC, no.
Okay. All right, so back to Baker Mayfield since like Wyatt likes to take these curves around the world. We spoke about this yesterday, but HR department's right here on my shoulder, so I can't speak it. Combs, go ahead and complete your thought.
What thought?
About Baker Mayfield.
Oh, so I got thrown off by this whole generation talk.
Sorry.
So look, Baker is one of those guys where I just don't think that you can mess with his psyche. Look at what he was talked about coming out of college. Everybody said this guy's just going to be another Johnny Manziel. This guy's not going to make it in the NFL. He's going to Cleveland. They're going to be here goes Cleveland drafting another quarterback. And what has he done? I mean, he's only taken them to a better record every year that he's been in the league, and now he's taken them to the playoffs and won a playoff game with them. It's been a long time since Cleveland's had that, and I think that moving forward, that sticking with Baker Mayfield, again, unless you can get a Deshaun Watson, or a Dak Prescott, you're not trading up. So, outside of those guys, I just don't see it. I definitely don't see you trading them to the Bears because what are you getting in return? You're not getting an NFL-ready quarterback in return, I'll tell you that much. We don't have one of those. We haven't had one of those in the entire history of our organization.
Well, so let's go ahead and talk about the Chicago Bears.
Jay Cutler.
and like many people have linked Deshaun Watson and the Chicago Bears together. Combs, you said earlier in the segment that the Bears have offered a offer out of this world. Yeah. That can be unmatched. However, the general manager from the Houston Texans say that they are not trading Deshaun Watson this season. Wyatt, are they going to trade Deshaun Watson in the end?
I mean, I don't know. It's starting to get really interesting because, you've got the Bears offering these great offers. You've got rumors of the Dolphins even offering good offers and the Jets, of course. So I just want to see what this deal is that the Bears have provided, because if it's that big of a deal, it's like the old saying, everything's for sale. No matter how valuable you think something is, everything's for sale. If somebody, you may love your grandma's blanket, but if somebody was going to give you $10 trillion for your grandma's blanket, you'd give up your grandma's blanket. Okay. No, it's the same thing for Deshaun Watson. If Deshaun Watson, Deshaun Watson is untradeable. Okay. Well, if somebody came to them.
Nana is listening to this show right now, sir.
She would hope I'd do that. Okay. Every good grandma would hope you would sell it for 10 trill. But anyways, they say they're untradeable, but at the right price, everybody's tradable. If they offered 10 first round picks, would he be traded? Of course he would. So it's just about finding that right trade that they want. It's about finding, and I'm not saying that 10 trades is the correct one, because if 10 trades is outrageous, I don't know if there's one player in the NFL I would trade 10 picks for. Maybe Patrick Mahomes. I'd say, but the max I would say I would give for Deshaun is like 4 first rounders. That's about as dangerous as I would get, because at that point you're giving up way too much for one player.
But say the Bears gave up what I'm talking about here. Say it was a mix of that. Say it was 4 first rounders plus Khalil Mack, or 4 first rounders plus Roquan Smith, 4 first rounders plus Khalil Mack and Roquan Smith. They've got to be moving on that. You'd be stupid not to move on that. Especially
they would.
For
I would go
a
as
guy
far
that does not want to be in your organization. Clearly, it doesn't make sense not to trade him.
Yeah. Well, and it's that old theory as well. Like, I don't know why more teams aren't canning them on this, because think about it. Deshaun doesn't want to be there. So at the end of his contract, they're not going to get anything for him. They might as well trade him now while they can get something for him. So if I'm an NFL franchise, I'm looking at that like, why am I going to bust my back giving you this huge offer if I can get this guy in the free agency in 2 years? Yeah, that's great, man. Hold on to Deshaun Watson. Don't trade him to anybody. Release him to the free agency, and I'll offer what I want to him, and it'll be me and Deshaun talking, not me and you. So, it's stupid on the Texans' part to sit here and not look at some of these offers. Like I said, I'm not sure what the trade to Chicago was, but I mean, from the way Ian Rappaport made it out to sound is that nothing will compare to it. So what that sounds like to me is we're talking like 3 first-round picks, maybe a player to go with it. So,
or 2.
I mean, I don't know why they wouldn't trade him. At this point, it's just getting kind of petty and stupid. Like, oh, well, we're just going to hold him for a year and waste a year of his career if he's going to sit out. That's fine. He's the one that loses.
I would.
Tori Anderson says the reverse Ricky Williams, the whole team for Deshaun Watson.
So
couldn't you see the Bears pulling some bonehead move like that, like literally giving up like half their team for Deshaun Watson? Couldn't you see that? Would that really surprise you?
When you look at the Bears right now as presently constructed, half of their team for Deshaun Watson, I think that the Texans are getting fleeced on that trade.
You guys are being absolutely crazy just because, like, everything that I've heard you guys say, a trade offer that will go unmatched. First things first is every trade offer will be matched at some point, right? It is just a matter of who is.
I mean, what if it's something crazy
selling.
though, Buck? Like,
what if it's something that's like 5
if you want
first-rounders?
Deshaun Watson and I'm the Bears, and I said, all right, well, I'm the Bears. Here's 6 first-rounders, Khalil Mack and Roquan Smith.
Okay,
who's coming in to top that?
Here is the thing, though. Deshaun Watson still has to waive his no trade clause.
Oh, I agree. No, I agree.
And that's not going to happen.
I don't think he's going to Chicago. I really don't. No. I think that they're doing that to kind of get other teams into the mix. I think it's a smokescreen. But if that is the truth, if they do have like some crazy, outrageous deal for Deshaun Watson in place for a trade, who's coming in to top that? Like,
okay, so let's say I am Deshaun right now. I am a very gifted athlete, a very great quarterback in the NFL, going to make $100 million in the next 5 years, right? Do I want to go to a place like Chicago where I have to like work my butt off to like maintain like greatness? No. So and like let's say, I am mad at
you've
the
got
Houston
pieces
Texans.
In place though in Chicago.
Hear me out. Like I am mad at Houston. And Chicago comes in with 10 first-round picks with some astronomical number. If I'm really upset with his organization, I'm going to tell them no because I don't want them to get 10 draft picks. I want them to be horrible for the next 20 years.
Well, on top of that, those 10 picks, they won't have to build around you.
But you've also got to see this, too. If you're Deshaun Watson, and Tori, I don't know if this is true, but it very well could be.
If that is true, that's crazy.
The offer is Kyle Fuller, Roquan Smith, Khalil Mack, and 5 first rounds. If those are true, that's true.
Follows it up right after that.
All right, so... let's go off
if it
that
was
one.
true, that would be nuts.
That's true.
Nobody's matching
if you're
that.
Deshaun Watson, you're saying I will not put my no trade clause up to go to Chicago. If you see that they're offering that much for you, your ego might say, "Wow, they think I'm worth a ton." Like, let me go play for this organization that really loves.
No, if I look at that, I'm saying there's nothing in Chicago now. There's no first round picks to build around me.
There's no
half
defense.
The defense is gone. I'm like, no, I'm not going there for that. Are you crazy? That's nuts.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, that would be a crazy offer. I like Kyle Fuller.
That is the 3 best players on the team right there.
I
pretty
can't
much.
I can't give up Kyle Fuller. To me, Kyle Fuller on that defense is your untouchable. I think Khalil Mack because of
Roquan Smith isn't your untouchable?
No. I think Khalil Mack because of his contract, I think you could move him, especially because of his age.
Sure.
I think Roquan Smith is
untouchable in my book.
Stud, but there's a lot of middle linebackers out there that you could get in the draft.
There's a lot of cornerbacks out there.
Not like
every team
Kyle
pretty much has a good corner.
Kyle Fuller is a very underrated cornerback in the league. I believe Kyle Fuller is a top 5 cornerback in the league. You can't let
I don't know about
right
top
now,
5 corner, but he is very underrated. I do agree with you that he is very underrated. Like I said, I don't know about top 5, but he is definitely underrated. But a middle linebacker is harder. A good middle linebacker that is young and has a lot of potential and still on rookie contract is harder to come across than Kyle Fuller.
Yeah. I know, Buck, look, I know that the Bears wide receiver core is not that top 3 wide receiver core that you say the Texans are.
They were.
Top
but
5,
and they were. Not anymore.
No, they weren't.
No,
They never were entering the season after trading DeAndre Hopkins. But at any rate, I think that Deshaun Watson coming to the Bears organization, and I've said this before, I think any quarterback right now that is worth its dime does not want to come to this organization because you're coming to a crap show. And for me, for the sake of Deshaun Watson and for the sake of his career, I don't want to see him come to Chicago. I would love to see Deshaun Watson in a Bears uniform. Don't get me wrong. But I don't want to see them waste this guy. I don't want to see it.
I don't want to see them literally waste their future on a quarterback that could not even be there in 3 years, right? I mean, like he could waive his no trade clause, go to Chicago to simply just get out of Houston, right? And then we are in the same position next year. It's like, man, I hate Chicago.
Yeah.
I really want to go to LA, or I really want to go to my.
No,
we
like,
were in the same position before.
I'm worried about him coming to Chicago, but whenever I see that, if they're giving up that, I'm like, hey, come to Chicago right now. Your whole defense is gone. Aaron Rodgers won't get touched.
So let me address your comment.
He
here.
also still won't win an NFC title game.
So Combs, let me address your comment. You are saying that Fuller is untouchable. Do you realize the middle linebacker is the middle linebacker is the quarterback of the defense?
Trust me, I get it. And the Bears are built on great middle linebackers. That's what the Bears defense is known for.
It's the only way the Bears defense succeeds.
You go from Dick Butkus, Brian Urlacher, Lance Briggs, all of the above, and Roquan
Singletary.
Smith. I mean, this helmet I have behind me is a Roquan Smith autographed helmet. Like, I like Roquan Smith. I love our middle linebackers. I love the way that they are. But if you've got a chance to get Deshaun Watson, man,
you do not
I've
throw
got to
away
make that
the
move.
quarterback on your defense to get somebody that may not even be there next year.
Yeah.
You cannot do that.
Why wouldn't he be there next year?
Because he's
might not even,
he's
there's no
unhappy
guarantee
because
he'll
they're
resign.
3-13.
Well, he doesn't have to.
And also, he might request another trade, too.
Just signed a 5-year, $100 million contract. He doesn't have to re-sign. He's under contract for the next 4 years.
Because he's seen that if he pushes the buttons in Houston, he can get out anytime he wants to.
So
what is stopping you from doing that in Chicago?
But if you push those buttons again very next year, you significantly decrease your value, significantly
still under
decrease
contract.
your options.
Still
because
guaranteed money.
At that point, as any credible GM or any credible owner, I'm gonna be like, look, he's not happy anywhere he goes. Let's look somewhere else.
No, he is not happy losing, and that's what he's going to do in Chicago.
He's not happy in that organization because that organization is a dumpster fire, but that's why I don't think that he would be good for Chicago either. You guys are acting like I think I want him to. I don't want to see Deshaun Watson in Chicago. I don't want to see them ruin this kid, and that's what this Bears organization will do to any quarterback right now.
So
I'll tell you what, guys. One last thing. Aaron Rodgers for Deshaun Watson straight up. I might do it. There you go.
At this point in his career, I would do it too, because Aaron Rodgers for Deshaun Watson, you're getting a guy who is, 10 years younger? I mean, I would do it too. But at this point, if you're the Packers and you make that trade, you have to make the commitment to actually build around one of your quarterbacks for the first time in the entire existence of your organization, because they don't build around quarterbacks.
That's a good point.
Why would you do that when you get to see Deshaun Watson scramble all the time and make stuff happen? There's no need to build around.
Yeah, well, tell that to the Houston Texans.
You don't like seeing your quarterback run for his life, Buck. How did that work out for Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl?
Deshaun Watson's made his early career out of it. Deshaun Watson made $100 million out of running away for his life. That's what he's done his entire time in Texas.
He did, but you don't like seeing that. You want your quarterback comfortable.
I agree.
You know who's not comfortable right now?
Who?
I'm not comfortable. We got to take a break, guys. Somebody's calling my name. We'll be right back. And what is up, Man Hour Nation? Michael Buckhouse here. If you haven't already, head over to manhourradio.com and become a member. As those $3 a month, you can get behind-the-scenes footage, the after-hours show every Monday through Thursday at 10 p.m. East Coast time. And after 6 months of being a member, you get a free hoodie and a t-shirt as well. And, of course, you get promo codes every week for a discount on the merchandise as well. If you miss any part of the show whatsoever, you can download us on iTunes, iHeartRadio, and Spotify, or head over to the website, manhourradio.com. Click on the podcast, and it's directly uploaded there after the show. So let's go ahead and bring the boys back on as Wyatt shows off his brand new Man Hour long sleeve tee.
This thing is soft too, guys. I gotta admit, this is like the most comfortable shirt I own. Like, I am not fan. Like, I'm not like just saying this because it's our shirt or anything. I swear right now, this is legitimately the most comfortable and soft shirt I own.
So
I'll tell you right
Wyatt,
now,
that's actually the performance tee as well. So it should be like a kind of like a stretchy, dry fit type of feeling.
Yeah.
So
It's nice. I like it.
And I'll tell you right now, this throwback Pittsburgh Pirates Barry Bonds jersey that I'm wearing is not very cool and comfortable underneath these studio lights.
Little itchy,
There's
scratchy,
definitely
pokey,
some
and touchy.
sweating going on underneath this jersey.
like as Combs has like the the whole armpit sweat.
It's like this whole area is covered.
So let's go ahead and jump into the comments here. Drew says, "Sorry, Buck, but I think Chicago would be an upgrade from Houston. Maybe in the front office wise, Drew, but on the team wise, do you really think that's an upgrade, Combs?"
I think it's a lateral move, to be honest with you. Look, I watch. I follow the Bears, man. Virginia McCaskey is a horrible owner. And Ryan Pace is just her yes man. He's a horrible GM. He is a horrible, he's horrible in the draft. He's horrible with everything. He's horrible with quarterbacks. And then you go down to Matt Nagy, and I feel like Matt Nagy, out of all of it, is probably the most salvageable because I don't think we've really seen what Matt Nagy is yet as a head coach because you haven't seen him with his quarterback of choice yet. You haven't seen him be able to pick a roster yet. And you've seen him with a GM and an owner who are atrocious.
Do you think Ryan Pace is kind of Jerry Jones in him a little bit?
No, I don't think he's Jerry Jones in him. I think that Virginia McCaskey is Jerry Jones in him. I think Virginia McCaskey has all the say in who we bring, which is why another reason, just one of the million reasons why I don't think that Deshaun Watson is coming to Chicago.
All right, so Wyatt, there's another comment that I'm going to address towards you. Combs Jr. says Russell Wilson to Chicago.
Yeah, we mentioned how it's a lateral move for or Combs mentioned it's a lateral move for Deshaun. I will say, unpopular opinion here. For this moment right now, I think Russell Wilson in a Chicago Bears uniform would have more success than Deshaun Watson in a Bears uniform. In the future, of course, those things will change. Russell Wilson has less of a career left, so Deshaun would stay there longer. But at this moment, Russell Wilson just fits the system. We've talked about this a lot on the show in the past. The last time that Russell Wilson had a dominant year, I shouldn't say dominant year because he really has a dominant year every year. The last time that he had a Super Bowl caliber year,
Russell Wilson has a dominant year.
How?
He has a dominant 8 weeks.
Why do you make me do this to you, Wyatt Williams? Why do you make me come at you and destroy you in the one sport that you say you are good at?
What did he have a bad year on?
What are you talking about? Deshaun Watson has a dominant year every single. He does not have a dominant year every. He has a dominant first 6 games every single year. Sure.
He had a rough second half of the year this year, but every year other than that, he's been great. He literally took a team that was rebuilding, just lost their entire defense, just lost their entire wide receiver core in Doug Baldwin, who'd been there forever and was their legend wide receiver
and they replaced him with DK Metcalf.
No, I'm talking a couple years ago. This was 2 years ago, 3 years ago. He made them 10-6, a team that was rebuilding, brought them to the playoffs.
And lost
I'm telling you,
so dominant. He's about as dominant as Aaron Rodgers. Can't get his team back to a Super Bowl.
So jumping back over here in the comments, Drew says, "Look what Houston has left. Chicago is a contender."
Houston, look, I agree. Houston, talent-wise, there's more talent in Chicago than there is in Houston. I 100% agree with that, especially on the defensive side of the ball. However, organization-wise, this team is a crap show, and I don't care. I said it ahead of last season that this team is a quarterback away from being a Super Bowl contender. I no longer believe that. I believe they are a GM and a new owner away from being a Super Bowl contender, because until then, like, they're just not making the right calls, and until Matt Nagy can prove that he can actually lead this team, that's why I think like a Deshaun Watson. Or if you let Matt Nagy pick his quarterback in the draft, I think that's when we might see a different offense come out of there. But the offense has been so inept that, you know, if you go ahead and you trade all this stuff for Deshaun Watson, you have to remember you've got $100 million coming out of your salary cap. That's $39 million a year that he's making. $39 million coming out of your salary cap this year. Do you still have enough to go ahead and franchise tag Allen Robinson? Do you have enough to go ahead and still compete in the NFC North, where the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings, I'm sorry, those two are the two best teams in that division. And so I don't know that they have enough to do that. I do think that they have better talent, but as a franchise, man, it's gross. It's horrible. And I hate saying it as a Bears fan, but this team is absolutely positively gross.
All right, question for you boys, okay? Is this considered a dominant quarterback, a great quarterback?
No.
68% completion, just under 70.
No.
4,212 yards, 40 touchdowns.
No.
Only 13 picks. And averaged 263 yards a game.
How many
Would that be
interceptions
considered?
did he throw
Did
in
he win a playoff
span?
game?
One at a time. What was that, Buck?
How many 3 interception games did he throw in a game?
How many 3 interception?
How many 3 interception games did he have it in a row? Wasn't it 4 this year?
I don't think so.
Three.
He might have had one. What
Did he win a playoff game? Man Hour Nation, rise up